Alright, today we are going to go over how to figure out which number is closest. Okay, so I'm going to go over a couple of tricks to help you with this, but basically we're looking at which number is closest to 6 and 834 thousandths, or 6.834. Now, I would say the first step is to add zeros to the numbers. Obviously, you can only add zeros after the decimal place. Otherwise, it will change the value of the number. But if you just add zeros at the end of the decimal, it does not change the value. So we want to add zeros to the numbers after the decimal place and after any digits, so they all have an equal number of digits after the decimal. So if we look here, this number has 3 digits after the decimal. It goes into the thousandths place. So what we want to do is we want to add zeros until every one of these numbers also goes to the thousandths place. So this one I have to add 2. I don't have to add any to this because it already has 3 digits after the decimal. I add 1 to this one, 1 to this one, and this is just a whole number, so I'm going to put the decimal. There's always an invisible decimal after a whole number, and then I'm just going to put 3 zeros. Now this makes it a lot easier to figure out. Let me just write this number up here. Which number is closest, okay, to this number? Okay, so what we're going to do is when we're looking for numbers that are closest, we are going to start with the biggest number and then go down the list, okay, and see which number is closest. We're going to go down each place value. So right now all of them have 6 in the ones place, okay? Now we're going to look and see. Alright, so they all have 6 in the ones place. So they all have in the tenths place, they all have either 8s or 9s. So judging on what is in the hundredths and thousandths place, 8s or 9s could be it for the closest number, but this cannot be it because 6.0 is obviously further away than any of these ones. So now it is 6 and 834 thousandths. So let's just look at these numbers and see which one is closest to 834, basically, is what we're looking at. And we have 800, 882, 940, and 820. Now if I look at this, the tenths column, I see that it is 0.83. So let's see, what is the closest one to 83 in these two? So we have 80, okay, which is 3 away. We have 88, which is 5 away. We have 94, which is 11 away. And we have 82, which is 1 away. Okay? So this one has to be the closest because 6 and 83 hundredths is closer to 6 and 82 hundredths, okay, than any of these other ones. So we don't even have to look at this one, right? So, but one thing I just wanted to mention is it doesn't matter that there's a decimal here as long as the decimals are all lined up, and after the decimal there is an equal number of places after the decimal, and we do that by adding zeros to any that you need to add zeros to. So really, if this decimal was moved, right, as long as we, right, if this decimal in all of these was changed to a comma, okay, and it just made it 6,834, then we would do it the exact same way, and we would still get the exact same answer, which is 6,820 is closest to 6,834. So a lot of times, the decimal seems to throw kids off in a lot of ways, but it actually doesn't need to, because I mean, it in a lot of ways it doesn't really change much when we're comparing numbers or learning how to round or things like that, as long as you line up the place values properly. So hopefully that helped. Basically, if you know how to figure out what number is closest to 6,834, then you should know how to figure out what number is closest to 6 and 834 thousandths. All right. Hopefully that cleared things up.